Now, I'm gonna present about organizational separation issue. This issue takes place before Enron scandals occurred. At first, Arthur Andersen was a company that focused on providing high-quality standardized audits. However, since new CEO joined the company, he introduced the new concept of services, which is consulting service. They started to offer this consulting service to large companies such as General Electric and Silch Brewing. However, because of consulting service is more profitable than auditing service as the chart shown, the problem between these two divisions become worse. Even though the consulting service had rapidly grown, auditing services still remain as one of the services provided by Arthur Andersen. In 1989, Arthur Andersen and Andersen Consulting completely become separate company by an agreement. The agreement stated that if one of the company is getting more profit, they need to pay 15% from the profit to another company. Impact of the issue: the separation between Arthur Andersen and Andersen Consulting gave a huge impact to the profit and reputation of the company. Firstly, it leads to a competition between workers and caused the team spirit decrease. Communication, that's supposed to be the mainstay of an organization, did not occur because they only think about profit. Secondly, when the consultant division received more profit, this profitable service had raised questions among the partners because they found an unethical accounting practices in several clients of Arthur Andersen. Suggestion on the issue: in August 2000, International Chamber of Commerce has decided that Andersen Consulting can operate independently, but they need to change their name because they are no longer under the control of Arthur Andersen. So, in January 2001, Andersen Consulting changed name to Accenture. They also need to pay $1.2 billion to the Arthur Andersen as the past payment. The last one is status of the issue. When International Chamber of Commerce decided that Andersen Consulting can operate independently, the issue between these two companies has been lifted since then. So, when the Arthur Andersen's image had been tarnished by the Enron scandal, they did not affected from it.
The next issue is financial misappropriation. Financial misappropriation, in the case of Arthur Andersen, refers to the criminal activities that involve with error corporation. Arthur Andersen LLP, which provides consulting services, helps error corporation to hide the amount of losses in financial statement of the company. In October 2001, they reported its third quarter conclusions and outcome for 2001. In the third quarter outcome, involved losing of 638 million, a 35 million jot down due to losses on partnership and a reduce in shareholders' equity by 1.2 billion. The statement leads to the declining in the stock price, which is 40%. After that, the SEC, which is Jeff Skillings, doing an inspection that involved in the Enron's financial transaction in the past of October. The result of inspection revealed the secret in critical accounting misappropriation by Enron in between 1966 and 2001. Based on the reports, Enron had big proportion of accumulated debts on the accounts of his suspicious financial when deals with his accomplice and shredded the shareholders' equity. Arthur Andersen helped out Enron Corporation to hide amount of debt from appear in the financial statement and hide the losses of the company. Enron hid its debt by using a scheme to use of balance sheet for special purpose vehicle, or popularly known as SPV. The impact of this issue is the collapse of Arthur Andersen Company in the business. All of belief and trust toward this company disappeared from the business world because of the financial fraud. It is because Arthur Andersen destroyed all documents and deleted the financial data related to its audit of Enron, and it is resulting in the Enron scandal. From this situation, Arthur Andersen was convicted because of the big conflict happened among them. One suggestion to avoid this issue is the company must have the powerful management department in the organization to keep manage and track the accounting details about the company, such as cash flow of the money. And the status of this issue is 31 August 2002 on Saturday, Arthur Andersen Limited Liability Partnership was ended after 89 years of operation in the business. After that, the company ended the services as public companies and auditors and left the business industry to avoid this issue from happen again.
The next issue that I will present is the auditing process and technique issue. This issue refers to the audit method and techniques applied in the Department of Auditing in Arthur Andersen. The method that are being mentioned are on how the auditing department manipulated the generally accepted auditing standards (GAAP) to cover their flaws in during their auditing process and also in their audit documents. The generally accepted auditing standards consist of guidelines and also standards that every auditors must follow during their audit process. Due to this issue, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act that was amended in 2002 due to such cases such as Arthur Andersen and also other cases from the Big Four companies. This act has changed the hierarchy of ASB, which are the Auditing Standards Board. Therefore, in order for current companies to avoid from being involved in such cases, such as Arthur Andersen, firstly, the companies must make sure that every facts in their financial statements are accurate, fair, and have no flaws so that their auditors cannot use deceitful methods during their auditing. Next, the company can set their own regulations and also manual based on the generally accepted accounting principles and the generally accepted auditing standards, so that the companies can give punishments and penalties for employees that does not follow the regulations set by them. Lastly, due to this scandal, Arthur Andersen was declared bankrupt, and also the employee liable for the scandal, whom David Duncan and also Nancy Temple, was required to surrender their license to the Supreme Court, so they cannot use their expertise in any company for a long time.
So now, I will continue with the last issue, which is with internal control. This issue shows when Arthur Andersen gave Enron a power to control his company management. Even though Enron is not a part of his top management staff, Enron is Arthur Andersen's client. In that case, David Duncan, who is the leader in handling Enron's account, gave a permission to Enron employees to intimidate Andersen auditor by locking Andersen auditor in the room until the auditor produced a letter supporting a 270 million tax credit. David Duncan and Nancy Temple are the people that are responsible in give a conduct to the worker to shredding all the document related to Enron scandal. They want to shredding the document because the Security of Exchange Commission (SEC) are looking for the document to bring it to the court. There are few impact of this case. Firstly, with internal control will lead to the lack of ability to track performance against budget, forecast and schedule. Secondly, Arthur Andersen is focused on Enron's advice and he not even accept an idea from his top management. It shows that there is poor management decision in Arthur Andersen firm. Thirdly, when Arthur Andersen give a permission to Enron to control his management, Enron can manipulate the company financial report and he will know the weaknesses or the secret of the company. He also can put all the blame on Arthur Andersen. There are few suggestions to avoid this kind of issue. Firstly, The owner or worker have to control their company whether it is internal or external. They can control the company by not allow outsiders that do not have power to control the company to make a decision on behalf of the company. Secondly, the owner must study about the background of their workers. It is to ensure that there is no betrayal in the company that can betray the company and put the company into a dangerous position. The betrayer maybe can give all the important information to the competitive company. Lastly, the owner of a company have to monitor the work done by the workers. It is to ensure that all the tasks given is done in the right way and do not involve with any illegal activities that can affect the company reputation. For the current situation, SEC has stated that a good disclosure of a bad internal control is not enough. It is based on the National Law Review article on 14 February 2019. Melissa Ockman, which is the Associate Director in the SEC's Enforceable Division, stated that companies cannot hide behind disclosure as a way to meet their ICFR obligation. Disclosure of material weaknesses is not enough without a meaningful remediation. We are committed to holding corporations accountable for failing to timely remediate material weaknesses. For those companies that failing to maintain an adequate internal control over the financial reporting, they will be punished about a few amount. For the previous year, when Arthur Andersen involved with this kind of issue, there are no law like this, so they do not take this as a serious matter, and at the end, it will lead to a falling of their firm. Thank you.